Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us here in person at Earth and Sky. Those of you joining us online, we really love your likes, your loves, and your shares that you give us every week. Any comments, questions, or suggestions for shows, we are certainly open to that as well. We're starting to do more series of these deep dives. We've got a really pretty big one on meditation the last few weeks, and we have 2 more to go. We have this time where I'm going to be talking more about the benefits of long-term meditation. I've been meditating for, I won't name the number of decades, but it has been decades.
It's more than
and,
one. Less than.
I don't really remember the last day I missed a day of meditation. I know now I have a new app and it tracks, and so for the last, I'm 8 days short of a year.
Right?
Headspace, fantastic app. So 8 days short of a year, I know for sure I've been meditating with the app, and I don't know when I missed before that. So one of the things with meditation too is that, and this was funny, I jump around a bit. So my last thing on my list today is about consistency. So consistency with whatever you do in life, and meditation might be the only thing that I'm really consistent on. No comments from the peanut gallery, but I am consistent with one thing in life at least, which is meditation.
At least.
And so I heard something the other day that when you feel like meditating, do it, enjoy it. When you don't feel like meditating, do it anyway. Enjoy it. And sometimes that's when you need it the most.
It's like drinking water.
Yeah, with drinking water.
Yeah.
If you're dehydrated, water sounds like the worst thing in the world. It sounds like it would taste terrible. And but you need it the most. If it tastes really good and you're craving water all the time, you're probably pretty hydrated.
Yep.
Keep drinking more because it's really good for you.
Because in the pops that they have nowadays, you have a couple of those and they actually turn your taste buds on in a way that water doesn't sound good.
That's true.
Which is what the meditation. So if you get away from it, it doesn't sound good. So you should go back to it.
Which is really kind of one of the things that happens when you get experience and you've been meditating for quite a long period of time. You build a muscle memory within your brain. The brain is a muscle in a way, just like the other muscles in your body. It's more of an organ, but it has muscle memory within it that as you do something over and over and over, it gets easier to remember. It gets easier, just like if you drive the same place all the time, you start sometimes realizing you're on autopilot to go there, and other things in life too. When you build muscle memory, it gets stronger, it gets easier to do. And they do something called biofeedback, was really big in the 70s. I was so excited to work with a researcher. You were with me when I did it.
70s?
That's when it really started to kind of explode.
Oh, really?
That's not when I did it. But I would have been pretty young then.
Wait, what? Yeah.
But I worked with a researcher doing that, and it was just really fascinating. Psychologist, was it? Or something like that. Some type of researcher that specialized in biofeedback at the Mayo Clinic. And it was so fascinating because you can actually start to watch where the first thing they do is they train you with the meditation CDs. So you take it home and you're just listening to it, going along with the meditations. And then when you come into the office each time, you start playing games on the screen. And so they hook your brain up to equipment, and you can actually see where you move the controls on the monitor just by thinking about them. You're not moving your body, you're not changing anything else. You just decide within your mind, I want this red ball to go above the blue line. And it gets...
And what were you supposed to do?
As one example.
Oh, okay.
and so you basically are training your brain to be stronger. And often when people will first start it, if they don't have that strong focus, or if you have kind of the monkey mind, as we sometimes refer to it, then that ball isn't going to do much at all. It's just going to kind of sit there, maybe move a little bit. But you start gaining control of your mind through meditation, through doing the same repetitions over and over and becoming very, very ever present in the present moment. And it gives you this strong focal power so that when you focus on something, even moving something on a computer screen, you'll be able to do it with ease. You can throw it way over off the screen, and it's really great. Yeah. Surprise, right? And yeah, they were like, oh, wow, you got that one. Okay, let's try
Yeah,
another one. Oh, wow, you got that one. Okay.
Let's make this harder. Let's make this harder.
And it's very, very fun, though, if you get that opportunity. But know that that's what you're doing as you're meditating. You're learning to take control of your mind. When we have the ability and the power to harness what's in our brains, oh my
gosh,
goodness.
yeah.
The power that we have.
Yeah.
We only use, like, I think 10% of our brains. It's a pretty small,
well,
fairly small percentage of the average. Do you remember what the percentage is?
Well, that's what,
I know 10% of the eyes. I don't remember the
they-
brain.
That's the.
Okay, that's a whole debate.
It's a whole thing, yeah.
But we use very minimal.
Yeah, we
compared
don't by any means or any stretch of the imagination use all of our brain.
Right.
So
And
that's-
it's through various parts that we harness in
Yeah.
it. But with
Yeah.
meditation, you learn to control that, which is a great reason that it's such a great way to control pain. When people have, or for myself even, I get a lot of pain. I push myself way too far, and I have the, see, I know I do, but it doesn't change the fact. And so,
Yeah.
but what you can do is really focus in on the spot where the pain is. So one of the meditation techniques for pain is you draw your awareness fully present into the spot where you're normally fleeing, because normally if we have pain, we run from it, we don't want to see it, or we focus on it and we think, oh, that hurts, oh, that hurts, oh, that hurts.
Yeah.
Why does it keep hurting? You know, there's
I'm waiting
fight or
for it to go
flight.
away. I'm waiting for it to go away.
But instead you direct your full awareness, not trying to change it, just being the observer, and you'll notice that pain begin to diminish. If it's throughout the whole body, you just start to be ever present within your body, finding yourself being able to relax, feeling your muscles relaxing, and you begin to take control over your body. The brain is what sends all of the signals, whether it's controlling substance P within the blood or whether it's
Which is-
neurons that are firing.
Substance P is the substance that your body realizes there's pain. You get substance P in your system, and that's what allows your brain to understand
To feel
there's
the
pain in a specific area. It's called substance P.
Yeah, thank you. And so there's a myriad of ways that you can harness that power in your brain. I've worked with people with diabetes where you focus in on the part of the brain where the diabetes center is, and you can lower your numbers simply through meditation, through breathing techniques, through being present within yourself, through allowing that healing energy to flow. None of these things should ever be done without a doctor's consent. It's not that we're trying to change it. If you do this on your own, which a lot of people do, just know that I'm not saying this as a replacement for medical advice or
never.
changing your prescriptions or
Yeah,
anything.
no.
Always check things with your doctor. When I would work with people in Phoenix, I worked alongside the Western doctors, so they would do their testing and everything.
Always.
So
That's how you know if it works or not.
exactly, and that's what I love about it, is that you can go in, get your blood work done, whatever the
Get your
illness is
tests,
that you're
get
having,
your scans,
and
get
then
your,
practice with meditation
Yeah.
for a month, and then when you go back to get your results,
See if
look
it's
at
better.
what a great
Yeah.
difference it is,
Yeah.
and be that star patient where your doctor says, what's going on with this?
Like,
How do you fix yourself?
I'm amazing.
Exactly, exactly. So one of the other things that you'll notice with this is, oh, I think I skipped ahead. Okay, yeah. So, so one of the other things, as you're building that muscle memory within your brain, you'll notice that you can go much quicker into meditation as well. Sometimes it takes a minute for people to get into that deep part of meditation. It might take a minute or 5 minutes, or you feel like you never quite get to that deep part because you're struggling with all of the
this
day-to-day thoughts that
thoughts,
flow in
yeah.
and out. Sometimes all you get are a few seconds in between all of those thoughts, but you get relaxed afterwards. Once you meditate for a period of time consistently, regularly, you'll notice that if all you have is 30 seconds, that's all you need, and it's equivalent to a 30-minute nap. It really is all you need sometimes. You've
Now-
seen that with me
Yeah,
too
well now,
sometimes.
and when you go into it, I've the longer I did it, the more I realized there's a physical, like when I'm going into it, there's a physical feeling of like taking stress and almost like pulling it off of you like
Yeah.
a blanket. It's just, do you feel that same thing, or do you even notice it now?
I do. I notice it kind of, I feel it more like it just melts out from under
Okay,
me.
so like
So it just
all of it
washes
just,
away.
okay.
Yeah.
So it's more like it
My
was in
muscles
you and it
relax.
flows out kind of.
Exactly.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right, all right.
yeah. If I feel like there's just a lot of weight like on my chest or
Yeah.
something, then I meditate and it just flows away. If I feel like there's burdens all over my shoulders
Yeah.
are locked up, it just melts away. I can feel myself relax down into
Nice.
it.
Okay.
Sometimes if I have a bad headache or something like that, I go into the meditation. That's one of them that takes me a little bit longer sometimes, even
'Cause
just a
it's-
few seconds longer.
Because your brain is
head.
ringing, because your
Yeah.
head is hurting,
Yeah.
and that's what you're trying to use to make it go away. So, right,
Exactly,
yeah.
but even that, it clears it away, almost like the clouds clear. If I'm foggy, it's like the clouds
See,
clear.
that's
in
what,
the
yeah,
brain.
that's kind of what I feel. It's like, it literally is like a thing here, and I can feel it like,
Yeah,
and it's like pulled away, like kind of
exactly, and then
clouds
you
clear.
see clearer.
Yeah, and then suddenly there's that sharp focus. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if it was in the beginning or if it was later on, but I know sometimes after meditation, things look brighter,
Yeah. Oh,
colors
yeah.
look brighter,
Yep.
there's more clarity, you can hear better.
Yep.
It really takes all that noise out of the brain. There's a lot of stimuli around all of us throughout our day, and meditation pulls that away, separates it from you so you're fully present in yourself. And it took me a while to realize, I think that's what makes it so the colors are brighter. And you experience that too.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, the
Nice.
clarity of, because I'm usually in the shower when I do most of my meditations, and like the chrome in the showers, when I come out of it, I actually, normally chrome is just a shiny thing, and then when when something moves by it, I'm never noticing, like, oh, hey, that's me in the chrome, And when I come out of my meditation and I look at the chrome, I can actually see the outline of me in the chrome, in the bathroom. I actually see it as a reflection, because everything is so much more precise. My brain is really grasping everything I'm seeing just a little more intently and a little more amazingly.
Yeah, very
so-
nice, very nice. And then one of the other things with meditation, as you experience it more, you'll notice it becomes very easy not only to meditate in 30 seconds if you need to, very easy to meditate for an hour. You can easily get lost in a meditation, and sometimes in the beginning, more than 5 minutes or more than 20 minutes.
It's a chore, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's exhausting. It can be exhausting.
Right.
At least it is for me to stay
Yeah,
there.
and I
Just
think
stay
for a
there.
lot of people in the beginning it
Yeah.
is. I hear that from a lot of people. If it's not a real visual meditation, that it can be challenging. And sometimes people get afraid of it. A lot of the meditations I host are, 30 or 40 minutes sometimes, and
And they're
people
like,
will think,
"Oh,
I couldn't do that. No,
Well, guided is much easier though,
It
because
is,
it's like
it
literally
is.
like you can let go. Somebody
There's
takes your
something.
hand and walks you there, and so you just wait, and so you're always waiting for the next cue, and it just makes it so you can
It is, but I think people get nervous because a lot of people haven't been through guided meditations
Right. That's what I'm saying.
too.
But that's my point. Is
And,
because by yourself, that 20 or 30, 40 minutes is.
Right, but the more you meditate, because I love doing hour-long meditations, so just in silence at home or, out in the woods if I have the opportunity.
Right.
I don't do that as often as I would like
No.
to, but you can really go into it and then come out with such a depth of clarity. I find the meditations that are longer, they restore my soul in a deeper way, where I just really, sometimes I feel like I go into the heart of Mom Gaia, or go all the way out into the universe, similar to the near-death experiences, but without the danger of that.
Near-death part.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, but it becomes easier and easier the longer you do it, to do it for longer sessions. And
And then it
there's a
doesn't-
different feel between them too, somewhat.
And does it feel, because I know like with mine, the short ones, I feel like the longer I stay in it, like there's a kind of a bell curve. So there's a certain time where I stay in it for a while, and then when I come out of it, I feel refreshed, I feel great. My day goes better and stuff, but then there's a point where it's a struggle to stay in it. And so when I come out of it, I'm a little more tired or whatever. I mean, but I have a varying response depending on how long. Do you get varying responses as well, or is it just, it's
I
all
do.
great and that's it?
No, and they're for different purposes. So if I'm
Okay.
doing an hour meditation and it's not for a specific focus, sometimes I do a focus. If I'm doing a psychic reading or
Oh,
something,
right, okay.
that might be an hour journey that I go into
Just
it.
for the clarity.
And then I'm awake and refreshed afterwards.
Right.
But if I'm doing it just for myself and just clearing my mind, I usually do that in the evening because I am a bit more tired and I sleep really well afterwards.
Oh, okay.
And
That makes sense.
yeah, but the mid-afternoon pick-me-ups are like the 30-second,
Yeah,
2
those
minute,
short
maybe
ones.
10 or 15 minutes, so.
Okay, so so you still have kind of a bell curve like I do, in
Right.
the sense of longer ones still can be somewhat tiring?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
Oh, interesting.
If you set your intent ahead of time to have more energy from it, then you
Mhm.
will.
Yeah.
Like when I'm doing the readings, I want to have plenty of energy afterwards, but to stay in that meditative state a bit. And so
Right.
just set your intent, ask for what you want to come
Okay.
from it. But I do have that same curve. Typically, my standard meditations 10 to 15 or 10 to 20 minutes. I mean, that's my average that I
Okay.
usually do when I'm on my own. And
Nice, I see that. Yeah, because even like mine are pretty, shorter. And I've noticed that on a good, like where everything, I feel like everything's firing, I'll do my 5 or 10 in the shower, and there's times I'm like, if I just had like plenty of time, I really would do another 10, maybe 15 minutes.
Just enjoy
Because
the energy.
yeah, it's just so nice. I just feel like, when it's like almost like you're riding it. Like
Yes,
just,
it's a wave
everything's
you flow
just
on.
right.
Mhm.
Yeah. So.
And that's that energy wave. Everything is vibration, everything is energy. You literally pull yourself up into different currents of energy as you're doing this. And so you might be on a low vibration, which is where sometimes you'll feel this very slow rocking wave,
Yeah,
almost
yeah.
like it's just, lightly floating. And then you'll feel the ones where it feels like you're just kind of moving a little faster, higher vibration. The lower waves are the lower chakras, the higher waves are the higher chakras. If you pay attention, you might see yourself getting more enlightenment, more clarity from the higher vibration.
Okay.
And the lower vibrations one might be restoring you more. Maybe you need more feelings of safety or security, or you're needing to be grounded a bit more, so it'll
Yeah.
pull you into the lower
A
current.
little more stability in your sense of day to day.
And that'll correlate sometimes if you're seeing colors in the meditation as well. You might be able to correlate with those with the colors of the chakras,
Oh.
and then know what vibration you're blending in with as well.
That's awesome.
So many interesting things
That's
as you
very
get
interesting.
into it.
Okay, yeah.
And so when you learn to control your mind, when you start to really take control of it, you have this presence of mind where you're fully present in the present moment, where you're fully engaging in life. When I went to massage school, again, a few decades ago, I had
Less than 5.
I had the director, the owner of the school came and talked to us, and she was talking to us about how, I'm not sure exactly, something about presence and how we needed to be fully present when we're doing a massage or when we're doing energy work,
okay.
have all of ourselves there specifically for the person that's in front of us.
Yeah.
And she said that she had received one of the nicest compliments from a woman recently, that the person said it feels like when she talks to this person that she's able to be heard. It's the only time she had in life where she felt like someone was fully listening to her, and it felt like even if she was only 5 minutes in the person's presence, it felt like she just was restored in her soul, because of so often we miss connections. Often when we talk to people, we're in our heads and we're not really listening to what they're saying. It's what am I going to say? How am I going to respond to this? Which means you're not really fully present. So if you just stay with your breath, stay there, be there for the person you're talking to, and allow your presence to grow and to magnify. Simply being in that and being next to someone is going to be healing for them.
Wow.
And it's through meditation that you get the ability to do that, because you have the ability, when you control your mind, to clear out the clutter, to clear out the worry, the anxiety, the stress that gets in the way of being fully present.
The mind going spinning as someone's talking. 'Cause
Exactly, self-consciousness, what am I going to say, how can I help them, whatever it is.
Instead of just being there, being
Fully
with
listen.
them and allow them to,
Yeah,
okay.
and if it takes a moment to respond to them, because then you need to gather your thoughts, that's fine.
Well, it shows that
Your
you care
presence
enough
is
to
there.
actually process the question and respond thoughtfully.
And when you learn to get that control over your mind and you learn to be fully present, you can learn to fill an entire room with your presence too, which again can be deeply healing for people. And I remember
I do that all the time.
one of the times I practiced this, I was 18 or 19, something like that, and I was practicing it, I was in a doctor's office. I had never been there before. It was in the south side of Phoenix.
Okay.
And it just needed some warmth and some love and some energy in the space. And so I was waiting in the little room by myself for a while, and I just went into a deep meditation. I think I was there a while because I was in a deep, deep meditation when he finally came in.
I think I know what doctors you were at.
And this was before I ever met you.
Oh, okay,
And,
never mind.
And so I just started filling the room with love, and I just felt the whole room light up with love, and I started filling the office, allowing it to spill into the rooms next to me, and then filling out into the waiting room. And it was pretty close to the moment where I'd finished filling the whole building with this love that the doctor came in, and we had an amazing conversation. His wife had died about a year before, and he had a young daughter, and lots of messages came through that helped from his wife.
Wow.
That opportunity would have been missed had I not just been sitting there filling it with love. He had so much that he needed to release. He hadn't had anyone to talk to about it. And so it was, you can get these amazing opportunities
That's really great.
when you're just fully present and you fill the space with love. We need
Yeah.
so much more love in this world.
Absolutely.
And so those opportunities you start to see when you allow yourself to be fully present, which comes from meditating. And clarity of mind is another big one that comes from meditating as well. Being able to get the answers that you're looking for. Often we get confused with what to do, or we're not sure what direction we want to take. And
Or we're just in question.
yeah,
I mean,
just
it's
in
just
question about life.
Yeah, so many things.
Yes.
What should I do? What is
What would
right?
make me happy?
What would be better? What would
Right.
make me happy? Yeah, there's so many
What
things.
do I need to do for the loved ones
Yeah,
around me?
yeah.
And all of this.
And most of the time we have a really good answer in our subconscious in there somewhere.
Yes.
And the universe helps, but I think most of us have a lot of the answers, just it's sitting right back there.
Yeah.
And you just have to get all
There's a
the-
lot of clutter. in
Yeah,
front.
just get the crap out of the way, and all of a sudden you can go, oh, there's that thing, it's in that box in the back on the bottom shelf behind all the crap.
Yeah.
That's where the answer's at.
Meditation's a great way to
You just
clear the
clear
clutter.
that out,
It's
and
like
all
dust
this-
cleaning
yeah,
the mind.
you're going there, you get to go through the boxes. You go, oh, there, that's what makes me happy. I forgot.
Yes.
That's where I put it.
Exactly. We touched on it for pain control, for help with other diseases and illnesses, for energy. Set your intention sometimes when you meditate. Sometimes just meditate and go in blankly.
Now, someone's been meditating for a long time, and they want to up their energy. I mean,
Yeah.
is there something specific that in your mind? Like, what?
Yeah.
How do you do
Yeah.
that specific? Not instead of just, okay, when I'm done with this, I want to have more energy, and then you go into a deep meditation. Outside of that,
Yeah, there's some great techniques for that, which I'm going to get into next week.
Oh,
Next
okay.
week we're going to go into a lot of different techniques for meditating.
okay.
How to put because we did your how-to,
Yeah.
so we're going to do my how-to with some
Oh,
fun
great.
things.
Okay.
I just wrote
awesome.
that down, so I'll remember to say that.
Oh,
I've got,
nice.
that's some of
Okay.
my favorites, because I often do
Yeah,
a little
that's
quick
what-
pick-me
yeah.
up.
Well, when I first met her, that was one of the things
Yeah.
that she'd been up like most of the night before, and was just exhausted. I don't remember what she was doing, but she was exhausted. And I showed up, picked her up, and you can see, she's just like, yay, let's go, and she's still all okay, but oh my God. And she got in the car and we started going, and she's like, can I just have a couple minutes? I'm gonna try and refresh. And I'm like, sure. So I'm just like, da da da. And she just went into this, and then she'd had these dark circles, I remember. Dark circles under her eye. And she just went into this deep meditation. She goes, ah. And when she comes out, she looks at me, and the dark circles are gone. And I just went, wow, like, feel better? She's like, yeah, I just needed a little energy
Quick
pick me up. Yeah, and I just went, what? Wait, what? So,
Because the mind controls all
Yeah.
of that. The mind controls all the physiological reactions. It's
yeah.
just extra blood, pieces that are in there that give you the dark
Mine are
circles. So
bruising.
you wake
It's like physical bruising is what happens to me.
so you wake yourself up. Your brain is able to, if you harness it, you meditate long enough, you're able to harness all of that power within your body. So you want to wake up all of the cells in your body, which is
Nice.
one of the techniques I'll talk to you
Okay,
about.
nice.
Waking up
All right,
all of
all
the
right.
cells. You can do that to get rid of bruising or dark eye circles. You can use meditation to stay younger looking, to not have wrinkles, to hold
I
back gray
I gotta
hair,
do that.
all of
I
that.
know.
With wrinkles, it really helps. I have met so many people that have, through meditation and sometimes through yoga, healthy living, they look a couple decades younger than they
Wow,
are.
nice.
Truly.
Nice.
And
Okay, so
so
we'll hit that next
energy,
time.
yep. Enlightenment is a big thing with the long-term meditation. Being able to reach Satori or enlightenment, and where
I'm
you
like, I
just
think I
get
have
that
app.
feeling of unconditional love. True enlightenment, where you just tap into the universe. You know that you and the universe are one. You're one and the same. You get that feeling that life goes on through that. I know that I've gone into that many different times, and it's the most wonderful feeling I could ever describe in the world, that to me at least.
The love and purity of it.
Yeah, going out to that bright white light, feeling it like the clouds are hugging you all the way around, and you know that you have full peace. You can tap into, if you are wanting to reach out to feel that energy of loved ones that you're missing, you can tap into that. You can feel it through that enlightenment, that feeling of love. If you feel like there's so much tragedy going on in the world and you're not understanding why so many people are hating on each other and why we have all of the crap that we often see in this world, when you go into that enlightenment, when you reach that level where you just feel that overwhelming peace, you know that this is all temporary. Everything here is temporary. We do the best we can with what we have with this world and making the best we can of it, but knowing that everyone continues to go on through this, and we're all working on that goal towards enlightenment.
And so feeling the peace kind of gives you that peace.
Yes, and then you bring it down into your day-to-day life. Nice. And when you're meditating and you're going into this, you're learning, you're training your brain so that you can understand and feel what peace feels like.
Right.
You can know what love feels like. You can know what calm feels like. And then once you do that often enough, you've programmed your brain so it goes, I know what that feels like. So you can not only implement that on the good days, but you learn that when crisis happens or when trauma or hard events, emotional things happen, you're able to remember that feeling and bring it down into the traumatic or crisis or whatever it is that you're going through, so that you can be that beacon of peace through it.
You can deal in a way that's more...
Make better decisions.
Yeah, well, and be more calm through it, in the sense of not, because that's one of the things in traumatic situations is when panic sets in and stress sets in, it makes the situation seem even worse and even more, and even like, I mean, even when if you lose someone, it's horrible. But if you lose someone, all the stress and anxiety that goes with it is the part that's becomes the most horrible, where the sadness of losing them should be the depth that you need to go to.
Yes.
And you don't need to go through the panic and the anxiety and the pain that goes with all of that when you don't have the peace. But when you have the peace going into it, that extra level of sharp and hurt that people go through that they don't need to can go away.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's not an avoidance of the pain, but it's an ability to lighten it so you avoid that
accept
sharp
it more
edge.
for what it is than fighting against it and making it worse.
And knowing that peace, that depth of peace will carry you through. It will carry through the loved ones, even if it's, many people that have died in a traumatic event or something, and you knew some of them. It helps carry you through so you can deal with that and know that life goes on, that you'll see them again, or, whatever your beliefs are for that. And you have this peace that it's still going to be okay. That's a huge thing to come from meditation.
Yeah.
And then that helps you in all the day-to-day things that are stressful and struggles too, because often, even with like road rage or a long line that you don't expect in the store or something, and you're in like this really big hurry, and that's when everybody's in line and there's one cashier.
Right.
It's those day-to-day things that happen all the time. When you find peace with that, you find ways to make joy with that. Life as a day-to-day becomes so much more enjoyable. And so it really, really helps to have that where you're training your brain.
It's all about training the brain.
And it was interesting when I was typing this into, I'm almost wondering if we're going over time. Should I save some of these for next week?
Yeah, if you want.
Let's save some of these
Yeah.
for next week. I am going to go into a lot more of the benefit or the how-tos of various styles of meditation, but we're going to go ahead and wrap this up next week, and we will see you all then. That way I'm not holding you for too long today.
We don't get crazy.
So go enjoy meditation and
Like,
have a great
share.
day. Yeah, like, share a video.
Yeah, please. And subscribe. If you
We're
like it,
really
subscribe.
working on getting up to our 100
Please.
subscribers, and
if
so
you
that
haven't
helps us.
actually subscribed, just hit it, just for a little while.
Hit the bell
You
button.
can go back later and undo it, like in a couple months, but it's just kidding. Don't do that.
Hit the bell button to determine how many notifications you want to get when we do upload our videos.
Yep.
We do this every week.
We do it.